Blessed be the name of the Lord, guys. I'm glad to be back here on a Friday evening, getting ready for Shabbat. So we're going to be getting into today's program here soon, here as possible. Hope you guys enjoying your Friday. Boy, it's going to be a lot of rain coming in here to Colorado here Sunday, I think. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, all up to Thursday, Friday. I don't know Friday, but it's a lot of rainstorms coming in. We have another storm in the sea they're talking about. I'm going to be having BP Earth Watch talk about that. Hurricane Lee, supposed to be up to Category 5 storm. I'll tell you, it's a lot going on in the weather, in the news. I'm going to have Dave Hodges on today. Going to have Stan Johnson on today. We're going to be showing a lot of things on the screen that I want you to go look at your own time. I was listening to Dr. Rennie McLean, one of my favorite people of faith, and he has a real fantastic video that he just did for this September. Definitely want you guys to be looking at that. Mina Grebin Jones have a message that she did last night. I listened to last night. Definitely want you guys to listen to those. I'll be flashing them on the screen later. Also, something coming from Brandon. I know Brandon is over in Oklahoma, but he have 2 new messages out. So I will be putting all these links in the description box at the end of the video for you guys to go watch at your own time. But we're going to be getting into Lewis in Florida, and also Dave Hodges and Stan Johnson and some other little clips coming from World News Report and BP Earth Watch on the hurricane. So we are going to be showing those today. And I'm going to get into the Bible. Psalms 127, pretty short and to the point, but very powerful psalm. I haven't even looked at it in a long time. Came in my spirit to share today. Maranatha, we're going to be going in Maranatha, talking about the remnant and the sealing. So I'm going to go ahead and get started, guys, with a song here on the screen. We delight in your Shabbat, after I go and show you my disclaimers and all those things. So let me go ahead and do that now, and we'll get into the song coming from Barry and Batya over in Israel. I love their music, all their music, their old music, their new music. I love all of it. So hope you guys understand, be getting prepped up, stand prepped, because we don't know what can happen anytime. I don't even like the rain coming in, so sometimes the rain come in and bring all this hail, and I don't like the hail, and I have to pray against the hail. So be praying against the hail, like I say, order your thing, order what you want in your life, order what you want in your territories and your home. We need to be ordering it like you order a pizza. Tell Yeshua, I don't want any hail, I don't want any winds, I don't want any high winds, you know, and you'll be amazed at how that works. Okay, works for me all the time. So I'm gonna go ahead here and go through this on the screen. Please, if you haven't received my book yet, I cleaned my office out, guys. I cleaned my office out, so I don't have a book on my desk here. But please, if you haven't, look at my book. You can see it on ebooks, and you can also get it in a physical book if you would write me at marner.campbell@gmail.com. And we do ask for a small donation, whatever you can give, okay? We would like $15. All the money go towards the ministries to help with missions and homeless and all these things, homeless food costs and things we get for homeless and things in the neighborhood. So just want you to know that, guys, okay? So buy my ebook titled He Did What from Amazon.com, Apple, Google, Kobo.com, Lulu.com, Barnes & Noble. It should be listed for $2.99 in America. If you see it listed for more than that, let us know. Download all our ebooks from fmcmi.org. And also go to click subscribe, the like bell, subscribe to our YouTube channel, click the like button, click the notification bell. I don't know, I don't see that on the screen anymore. You took it off the screen? Okay, I don't see that other material on the screen. Fair use notices in front of you. Also, we have the Title 17 and disclaimer, and also the FBI notice. So I'm going to go ahead over here and play this wonderful song. Old song, but a good song. And I really hope you guys read the screen and learn this song if you don't know this song. A wonderful Shabbat song, Sabbath song that I like, okay? So let me go ahead and mute it out. Go ahead and mute.
forth a nation from Abraham and spared his son Isaac, providing the ram. We delight in your Shabbat. 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 Prophets foretold that Messiah would come. Shema Israel, the Lord God is one. Just as you rested when your work was done, we enter your rest by the work of your Son. We delight in your Shabbat. 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 We in your Shabbat.
TV7 Israel News is made possible thanks to your generous donations. Shalom, good evening. This is TV7 Israel News broadcast to you from Jerusalem. And in today's top stories, Israel voices its aspirations to deepen its relations with the North Atlantic Alliance Organization. U.S. National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan confirms that broad understandings have been reached regarding central components on the road to Saudi-Israeli normalization. There is an evidence surge and warnings of terror attacks ahead of the high holiday season here in Israel. Israel maintains excellent relations and excellent cooperation with the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, or NATO, and it aspires to increase its relations even further. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu hosted NATO's Deputy Secretary General Milsea Joanna at his office in Jerusalem, during which he highlighted Israeli-NATO cooperation vis-à-vis the Islamic Republic of Iran in particular.
I'm very happy to see my old friend, and who's now the Deputy Secretary General of NATO. We have excellent relations with NATO and excellent cooperation, and I look forward to increasing it even further. We have great opportunities for peace in our area, but we also have great challenges, principally from Iran, and of course from other areas as well. And I think Israel and NATO cooperate on both fronts, deterring or removing the dangers and seizing the opportunities.
NATO's Deputy Secretary General, for his part, marked a new beginning in the relations between the Western Alliance with Israel, as both Jerusalem and the Brussels headquartered organization share many of the same concerns.
I'm here to mark a new beginning in a very robust partnership between NATO and the State of Israel. We share many of the concerns that Israel shares. We see authoritarian regimes like Iran and North Korea and Russia posing challenges to our security, both in Europe and also in the Middle East. I'm here to reconfirm the strong interest that we have in building upon the exceptional technological sophistication of your great nation. I chair innovation in NATO, and through the new partnership that we are about to launch in the next few weeks, I know that we'll be building our partnership to the next level, and I'm very privileged to be in Israel, a country that we admire, respect, and hope to work even closer with.
Thank you.
Prior to the meeting with NATO's Deputy Secretary General Joanna, Premier Netanyahu held a phone conversation with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. According to a statement by the Prime Minister's office here in Jerusalem, the two leaders discussed a continuation of Israeli assistance to Ukraine, including to Ukrainian refugees in Israel, as well as the advancement of development assistance to civilian air defense systems. It is important to highlight that the civilian air defense systems refer to highly sophisticated and battle-proven early warning systems that alert the general public ahead of air-to-surface or surface-to-surface bombardments, granting civilians ample time to find shelter. And while Israel is set to provide these early warning systems to Ukraine, alongside other humanitarian aid, tensions remain between Kiev and Jerusalem over the latter's refusal to provide the former with aerial defenses, namely the Iron Dome aerial defense system, due to Israeli national security considerations. It is important to explain that Israel's main considerations related to its refusal to deliver aerial defense systems to Ukraine stems chiefly from expected backlash on its northern front, where Moscow and Jerusalem maintain a tight coordination mechanism that ensures deconfliction between the Israeli and Russian militaries, particularly during Israeli aerial strikes against Iranian targets in Syria. And while the mechanism naturally serves both Jerusalem's and Moscow's interests, if this deconfliction mechanism were to be revoked over Israeli military support for Ukraine, it would undoubtedly raise prospects of miscalculation exponentially, essentially threatening conflict between Israel and Russia in Syria, a reality Jerusalem aims to avoid. In other news, U.S. National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan acknowledged that broad understandings have been reached regarding central components on the road to Saudi-Israeli normalization. Speaking aboard Air Force One en route to India, the American president's top security advisor highlighted, however, that more work was needed. It is interesting to note that the remarks by Sullivan were published less than 24 hours after he addressed a White House press briefing, during which he sought to temper expectations of an imminent deal. Responding to a reporter's question on prospects of Saudi-Israeli normalization, Sullivan insisted that the White House Special Coordinator for the Middle East and North Africa, Brett McGurk, was meeting in Saudi Arabia this week with focus primarily on the Yemenite conflict.
So Brett's trip this time is focused on a set of broader regional issues. One of the main things that has brought him there, along with Barbara Leaf, the Assistant Secretary of State of Near East Affairs, and Tim Lenderking, our Special Envoy for Yemen, is to talk about the war in Yemen. We are entering either our 17th or 18th month of a truce, the longest period of peace in Yemen in years, which has been delivered in part through painstaking U.S. diplomacy. We not only want to keep that going, we want to deepen it and get to a permanent peace in Yemen, and that's one of the main reasons that Brett is there. He'll also be meeting with the Crown Prince of Bahrain in advance of his trip here next week. And then, of course, he will speak to the Palestinians about the whole range of issues relative to the Israeli-Palestinian file. Normalization will be one of the topics on the agenda, but it's not the main thrust of this trip.
The referred to meeting with the Palestinian delegation took place at a time when the United States, alongside a number of European nations, including Germany in particular, denounced Palestinian Authority Chairman Mahmoud Abbas for distorting history related to the explicit hatred of Jews during the Holocaust. During an address to his Fatah faction, Palestinian President Abbas, whose entire doctoral thesis distorts facts related to Jews and the Holocaust, once again voiced his convictions about Adolf Hitler's sentiments toward the Jewish people.
This has been explained by many Jewish authors. when they said that Hitler killed the Jews for being Jews and that Europe hates the Jews because they were Jews. No.
أوروبا تكره اليهود لأنهم يهود. لا. شرحت بالضبط.
It was clearly explained that they fought because of their social role and not their religion.
وظيفتهم الاجتماعية وليس بسبب ديانتهم.
Among other responses to these blatant statements, Germany's ambassador to Israel, Stefan Seibert, released a statement in which he stressed that the recent statement of President Abbas on Jews and the Holocaust is an insult to the memory of the millions of murdered men, women, and children, further stressing that the Palestinians deserve to hear the historical truth from their leader rather than such distortions. Meanwhile, Japan is seemingly increasing its footprint throughout the broader Middle East. Japanese Foreign Minister Yoshimasa Hayashi concluded a regional tour, which culminated in Riyadh, where Tokyo's top diplomat participated at a foreign ministerial of the Gulf Cooperation Council aimed at revitalizing talks about a multilateral trade agreement. Prior to this visit to Saudi Arabia, Minister Hayashi visited Cairo for a meeting with his Egyptian counterpart, Samih Shoukry, during which Tokyo's top diplomat pledged Japan's support for Egypt and also seized the opportunity to voice concern over tensions between Israel and the Palestinians.
We are also concerned about heightened tensions between Israel and Palestine. We appreciate Egypt's positive efforts, including posting Palestinian factions for reconciliation. Japan will provide emergency grant aid worth $1 million through UNRWA, as well as food assistance worth approximately $1.4 million through WFP to the people of Palestine. Furthermore, Japan values the role of multinational force and observers for peace and stability in the Middle East. Japan has been contributing financially and sending 4 ground self-defense force officers on duty to the MFO.
Prior to visiting Egypt, Minister Hayashi also met with his Jordanian counterpart, Ayman Safadi, in Amman, where he reaffirmed Tokyo's support for the Hashemite Kingdom and reforming its energy sector, as part of which Japan granted Jordan a loan of $100 million.
We have just signed the exchange of notes for a concessional loan of approximately $100 million regarding electricity sector reform, as well as a grant of approximately $6.5 million regarding the stabilization of power supply.
The future is very promising in terms of the cooperation that will continue to be moving forward towards. Today we discussed cooperation in the areas of energy, water, development as well. Japan has been a very solid partner for Jordan, and we're grateful for the support that Japan has continued to provide to our development process.
Thank you for watching TV7 Israel News. Since TV7 Israel is a donation-based ministry, I would like to encourage you, if you're blessed by our programs and would like to help support TV7 Israel's productions, please consider making a financial donation. You can do so by visiting our website at www.tv7israelnews.com. Separately, I would like to encourage you, pray for our persecuted brothers and sisters worldwide, as well as for the peace of Jerusalem and salvation of Israel. Jonathan Hassan wishing you a Shabbat Shalom u'mevorach, and God willing, we'll see you again on Monday at the same time.
My name is Louis, and God bless every single one of you. Today is September 8, 2023, and welcome to the Grand Supreme News Channel. All right, guys, so we have some breaking news updates, some very important information coming out. If you can, please share the video. And it says here, Mr. Z throws women into combat units. All right, let's see what's going on here, guys. And it says, the leader of the yellow-blue country, Mr. Z, begins the recruitment of women to replace the blank losses of the UKR Army and prepare the new brigade for the spring of 2024. So basically, they're going to replace the men. You guys already know, over, I think, 500,000 were taken out. That's a big number. That is a big, massive number. So the bear has taken out at least 500,000 of the yellow and blue country soldiers. Mostly, well, 99% men. Now it's the women's turn to put on the camouflage. All right, guys, before I start, give this video a big thumbs. And God bless every single one of you. Today is September 8, 2023, and welcome to the Grand Supreme News channel. All right, guys, so we have some breaking news updates, some very important information coming out. If you can, please share the video. So Hurricane Lee is at Category 5, 155 miles per hour. That is a monster and is building up really quick. Now, I want to show you something here, guys. This is from Wendy's.com, and this storm is going to be ugly. And I do believe there's going to be another storm that's going to combine with this one. And I want to show you this time lapse here. If you can, please share this video. Here we go. So we are seeing Hurricane Lee building up right now, and it's heading straight towards the eastern part of the U.S. But this thing is going to be a lot crazy in the next couple of days, guys. I'm going to leave this link in the comments box. Once again, Wendy's.com. And if you live out there in the eastern part of the U.S., you may want to prepare. Get your stuff ready. This thing is going to be a monster. I mean, I'm talking about possibly 180 to 200 miles per hour. This thing is going to impact the entire eastern coast of the U.S. And just looking at that, that's brutal. Now, people are saying it's going to be 3 storms in 1. Yikes. All right, guys, before I start, give this video big.
Wow, guys, wow. All I'm gonna say is wow, 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 wow. All the warnings we've been given for many years for Florida, you know, on East Coast, and tsunamis and hurricanes, all gonna be coming in the end times. Islands, getting off islands, and you know, I don't know. Hawaii's in a mess. We got a lot of more things going on. I'm just praying for people to have wisdom. Listen to the small, still voice. I think Brandon over in Oklahoma was talking about the same thing. If Yeshua is telling you to move out, you should move out. Why are you waiting? A lot of different missions are out there. Prophets and prophetess and different people have warning messengers going forth that great tribulation and troubles and sorrows are on the way. I'm going to have people, I'm going to go over here now and listen to, before I get into this other video while I'm here, I might as well go ahead and announce these other things I want you to look at. I definitely want you to go and look at Prophecy Update, the spirit of Jezebel over America in the church and its gatekeeper, okay, from Mina Greben Jones, okay, Faithful Walk Healing Ministries. Please, I want you to go listen to that. I will put some links in the description box for my brother Brandon over in Oklahoma. His message, he got 2 new videos out. He say he don't like things on the YouTube channel, so I'm not going to do it. So I'm going to put the links in the description box. But I want you guys to go listen to Dr. Rennie McLean. He got a message out about shaping your faith. I heard the whole thing the other day. I think it was yesterday or day before yesterday. We heard the whole thing. He's talking and have an interpreter for all you Spanish people out there. You can share the video as well, because he's got an interpreter in Spanish and English. He's talking in English and she's doing Spanish. So I'm just saying it's a wonderful, wonderful video to watch because of shaping your faith, okay? You know, I believe in the supernatural. That's what my book is about, supernatural experiences that I've had in my life. And I have a lot more I could have put in the book, okay? Because they keep happening all the time. So we just know we need to be getting ready and trusting Messiah, Yeshua, HaMashiach, because it's really time to know we're in the end, at the end. Also, I have another material I think I put up here I want you to go and be aware of before I get into BP Earthwatch, because he's going to be giving more details about the storm coming up. But I want you guys to go and look at also the episode 1. We already seen episode 1. We're going to be looking at episode 2 this weekend. Lion in the Lamb Ministries, Monte Judah. He's talking about the fall feast, okay? So this is introduction to the fall feast, and I think he get into all the feasts and all the whole series. So if you're interested in the feast and want to learn more about the feast, how they operate, whatever, you can go and follow him. And he's a great teacher. That's one thing I do like about Monte Judah. He's very descriptive, very good teacher in biblical studies and everything. So you can also, you know, guys, on my channel, I was talking to one of my subscribers the other night on the phone, and we was talking about people listening and understanding God has his people all over the world. God has people all over the world. He can use you, he can use me, he can use whoever, and we need to stop judging so much and start learning and listening and praying for one another, loving one another. That's what it's about, all of us in here together. I think MarnerB mentioned on her video as well. We need to come together, people, and pray and stop hating and fighting and biting one another. You know, backbiting, sorry. And so, you know, it's just important that we do it now, because we don't know who we're going to need, who we're going to be a part of. I don't know. We might be in the wilderness one day. I hope so, when God gathers his people, but before the rapture. But you know, we don't know how it's all going to pave out or come out, because that's what Betty S says. You know, we never know what's going to happen, how God's going to do it. But we know all the signs are showing, okay? So I definitely want you to go listen to these 3 videos, Dr. Rennie McLean, Dr. Rennie, and MarnerB Jones, and this one here. And also, I was looking at this today here. I will be talking to Stan Johnson. We'll be seeing Stan Johnson in a minute, where he's going to talk about a little bit of this money system stuff again. I think he is on that video. I'm not sure. I think he is. Is one of them going to talk about that? I don't know if it's him, if it's Stephen the Noon. I can't remember now. But anyway, a U.S. bank has now left customers with no money. Very important message to read if you're part of U.S. Bank. I don't know if it's this bank in your neighborhood yet, but a lot of the banks are in the trouble. So we know it's going on all over, okay? So we need to be getting ready, and I'm going to go ahead now and get into, we're going to go ahead now and get into this thing before I get into September 23rd from Stan Johnson. And also Stephen the Noon got something to say, and Dave Hodges got something to say. So let me go ahead now and get into this other little video coming from the hurricane, from BP Earthwatch, a 7-minute video, so you'll have more information on what's really happening. And be prepared, get prepared. In Florida, please. I'm sick of talking to my families in Florida. I even told them to get a boat, and they laugh at me, guys. They laugh at me. I'm telling you, we need to be prepared. Be prepared or get out. One or the other. Be prepared or get out. So I'm going to go ahead now and play this right now. Let me mute it out again.
September the 8th, 2023. Guys, it is 7:27 a.m. here in central Mississippi this morning, and you're looking at Hurricane Lee, which is now a Cat 5. You can see it recycling through that eye. And right to the left of your image here, you can see the Leeward Islands, kind of the gateway to the Caribbean, as I call them. But you got a Cat 5 storm. It's supposed to continue westward, and it looks like it's going to get near the Bermudas and then turn hard north. And guys, it would be better for a Cat 5 not to make land anywhere. That would be the best case scenario. But I'm afraid our friends in the Northeast may catch this storm. We're going to take a look at that. Now, looking at the wide Atlantic, guys, here's your storm, here's the Caribbean, and you've got a second storm right here behind it that it more than likely will become a very strong hurricane too. It's supposed to kind of follow Lee and move up parallel with it up the east coast. And you've got some storms, you guys over in Arkansas, and for the first time in months, we got like maybe 30 minutes of rain going between light and heavy, but it at least knocked the dust down and cooled the temperatures. I just want to point out something here coming off the coast of Georgia. We've seen these before, if you guys remember. They'll start spinning up in this area. I think we tracked one from Tennessee 2 years ago, got out into the Gulf and became a tropical storm. We'll just have to wait and see on that. But right now, Lee is going to be a major problem, it looks like, from the new models for the Northeast. This is the current modeling as far as the cone, and we got a Cat 5 here at 150 or 65 miles per hour. 156 above is a Cat 5, so this one is well defined. We're going to remain a Cat 5. It's saying all the way until about Monday at 2 a.m. and slowing down to a Cat 4. Not sure if it's cooler water there or what may be the reason for this thing going down to a Cat 4. It just may not be able to maintain this 165 mile per hour wind. Now, we did see a storm come into the Bermudas, guys, a few years ago. It sat there as a Cat 5 for a few days with peaks at 200 miles an hour. Remember that? I think it was on the large northern Bermuda island there. But this thing is, it was 5 o'clock advisory this morning. It's moving west-northwest at 14 miles per hour, 926 millibars of pressure. All the models are starting to come together in about the same place. And notice what a hard left some of these models are showing here. The UKM is not, it's kind of a slanted model, but the Navy model is here. And the CMC model is the furthest to the right. So we have our the two models that I watch the most on either side of the cone. Now, when we look at the forward models on this thing, you'll see how close they cross when we get up north. Now, this Cat 5 is being watched very closely. We've got a hurricane hunter that's left out of the northern Leeward Islands, guys, and is here, headed on its way to do some drop sounding around Lee, and that's what you're dealing with right there. It's hard to see. It's kind of dark. There's your aircraft there. So they're not going to let this one just slide in anywhere. They're going to keep an eye on it probably until it makes landfall or moves out into the North Atlantic. Now, first, let's look at the Canadian model. It's the one that is the furthest left on the spaghetti models we just looked at. Here's the Lee. Going to make that turn, hard turn. You've got, New Hampshire, Maine, and Massachusetts under the gun right here. Watch this again. We'll stop it on that date. Coming very close to the Bahamas right there. That's on the 13th. Heading north right here. Very close to the Nantucket area of Massachusetts. Move it forward. There's a September 16th. Very big storm. Coming in right there. What is that, guys? You got Massachusetts, New Hampshire, and then Maine. And this storm is kind of touching all three of those states, and maybe even a little further north. Again, September 16th. Coming ashore. Right there, man. It's right on top of you guys by this point. We know the tracks will shift, but right now, guys, they're shifting to the left and not back out into the Atlantic. For the last few days, you couldn't really tell were they going to skirt up between the East Coast and Bermuda, but right now they're starting to come together. Again, this was the Canadian model. It is the furthest left on the model, so let's just let this thing play through, going up, coming back out into the Atlantic. Storm here at that point. Then let it go all the way through. Slows down, makes that turn right above the Bahamas. Bam, right there. Again, it would be better if this storm did not hit land, but you guys in the Northeast, you cannot let your guard down at all. You're just a little over a week away from impact if this continues as far as the spaghetti models and these forward-looking models. Let's take a look at the Navy one. Basically the same thing, but again, this one is on the right side of the cone, or the northern side, and here we go, turns hard north. Right here, guys, it scrapes on the bad side of the storm, Bermuda. And then this model does not go out as far as the Canadian model. It stops right there on the 15th. And it's still headed due north at that point. Let's play it all the way through. That's the 9th, the 10th, the 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th. And there we are. So just like I've said before in the past, when these two models get very close together, you've got a very good idea of where you're going to make landfall at. If this thing makes landfall, guys, there's going to be a tremendous amount of flooding all along the northeastern coast, possibly from New York and up further, because the storm's spinning counterclockwise. And here is Long Island, New York, right in this area. All of this is going to be involved in some very high winds, flooding from the ocean, depending on when your high and low tides are, and the wind, power outages, tornadoes, the whole 9 yards. This one may be a wake-up call for the entire hurricane season of 2023. Now, even on the 15th, it looks like a very powerful storm. They're anticipating it to be back down to a Cat 4 hurricane, and that's very powerful indeed. That's what we saw come across Florida just a week or two ago. But guys, we will do the updates as the information comes in. It's time to pay very careful attention to this. It's a heads up. Be safe.
Good afternoon, friends. Steve Benoon here with Israeli News Live, and a very interesting news that came out a couple of days ago that I wanted to share with you is about the North Korea launching their nuclear attack submarine. Not so much the fact that they've launched a submarine, that this is the great big news of the day. And it is nuclear capable, armed with nuclear weapons. We'll just kind of play some of the video here of this celebration of this event that North Korea, Kim Jong-un is celebrating this deployment of this nuclear capable submarine. But it's more so because of what I shared with you guys not too long ago on, I believe it was on one of our Patreon videos. I'll share with you that information real quick so you can see that. I think it was on this video here, why are these celestial bodies appearing? Because I was discussing some of the intel with you on Patreon about the events that are happening up in the heavens there, the alignments. In fact, this video here goes into a lot of the issues that surround what we call Planet X. And in doing so, I mentioned also, and I don't remember if it was in this video or one of the other ones here on Patreon, about we will eventually get hit by an asteroid here in the United States. And it'll be significant enough basically to take out a city. And what they're going to do, though, what they've already planned to do, is to blame that strike on North Korea. And I shared that. This was back in August, the 1st of August here, so a month ago, that they were going to do, maybe a month and a half, something like that, depending on where I shared that at, that they're going to say that we were actually struck by a nuclear weapon by North Korea. That's going to be how they're going to explain what happens. They're not going to tell the people the truth about that it's an asteroid that hit the United States. They're going to say it's a nuclear device by North Korea. So now when I was told this, I had no clue, none whatsoever, that North Korea was actually putting out a nuclear submarine. And because, the one thing that I was thinking at the time is that North Korea, they do have some pretty good missiles, but they don't have any missiles quite capable of reaching the United States, not as of yet. So I thought, well, if that's something that's near, what are they going to do? Just fabricate that North Korea could actually strike the United States? That was one thought. But then the next thing we know, North Korea launches their nuclear powered submarine. Not nuclear powered, but a nuclear submarine or a submarine capable of deploying nuclear weapons. So I thought that was interesting, and I wanted to share that with you so you could see that. Also, I wanted to bring to your attention a teaching video that will be coming out not too long after this video here. This video I'm going to be releasing here on Israeli News Live. We're going to be talking about Jacob's Ladder. We're going to be talking about the cornerstone that the builders rejected. And believe it or not, those two are actually linked together. You're going to see something you've never probably seen before. At least I don't think you have. I'm going to share some insights there with you that I think will just absolutely floor you. And at the same time, I am hoping it is going to help you with your walk with Jesus Christ, being able to get into the Spirit and into the true. As Jesus said, the Father seeks those to worship Him in spirit and in truth. And it's fascinating. I mean, we're going to look at what David said in the Psalms, that he was looking for the gates of righteousness. I just think you're really going to be blessed by that. Anyway, God bless you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for your support of this ministry, IsraeliNewsLive.org, our website. I'll just post that here for you real quick there. But listen, your support is what makes everything possible to be able to share that with you. Don't forget also, check out this video that's at the top of our list on our website there. You want to hear what with somebody that knows about what happened in this family speak publicly. There you go. And this is definitely going to get more interesting in the days ahead. But anyway, our website, if you want to donate, click there online, donate directly online or via
Hey everybody, Dave Hodges here, host of the Common Sense Show. We are the show that's freeing America one enslaved mind at a time. Thank you so much for joining us. And we have an important broadcast in this late hour. And I've been talking to a number of people, financiers, experts in the economy. And I've had these discussions that have been ongoing the last few months, but really intensified the last 2 days. I spent literally the whole day on the phone today. And I've come to a conclusion. I don't know if we can stop the Great Reset. I think it's going to take divine intervention, and I mean that sincerely. Certainly, I don't think we give up. We keep spreading the word, and hopefully we'll find enough people where standing up will make a difference and we can stop them. But there are things we can do to slow them down. And in this broadcast, we're going to talk about the 6 things you must do before the Great Reset arrives. Remember? You'll own nothing, and they'll be happy. You know who I am. You know what we do here. We are freeing America one enslaved mind at a time. We ask you to do 2 things. 1, subscribe. That increases our reach. But number 2, please share these videos far and wide. We have to wake up the masses. Time, as I often say, is growing short. By the way, the update on one story, the disaster drill coming up with Earth X that I talked about this morning. Earth X, I'm going to be a participant in the audience in this drill. I got accepted. I was kind of surprised, but I will be there next Thursday at 8 o'clock, and I think it'll be really exciting, and I'll report. We may even report on while I'm there live. We'll see. Before we get started, I think you'll understand why I am saying what I'm saying. And I have to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, you better be in precious metals. And you better get your retirement out of your bank and back it up with gold. Noble Gold can do that for you, because under Dodd-Frank, which was a 5,000-page monstrosity passed in 2010, you're an unsecured creditor and the bank can keep your money as a result. I think it's totally unconstitutional, but nonetheless, that's what they're going to do. And as a consequence of this, if you have your money out of the bank, at least your retirement, you're going to own it, you'll control it, and you can back it with gold that's held its value for 6,000 years, unlike the debased currency that the bankers have caused to lose 85% of its value. What's the better deal? Well, we know the answer to that question. Let's go to the flip side here. What about your bank account? Well, they can help you there too. How do you find out about it without being pestered? Well, there's no hassle, no obligation with this company. They're as low pressure as you'll ever see. So you can come to me and I'll send you a free information packet. You can look it over. So the first thing to do is go to davehodgesgold.com, davehodgesgold.com, and I'll send that out to you. Then you can call the number there that's on the packet. You say, I got to do this. 877-646-5347, 877-646-5347. Reality, let's do a reality check here, shall we? Reality, usually do nothing. It's going to be 1929 for you, and I don't want that to happen. Okay, so please make sure that you do this. Also, too, the FTC wants me to tell you, any investment carries a risk and there's no guarantee. I agree. The biggest risk is to leave your retirement attached to the bank. That is the biggest risk. Okay, there are some things you should be doing right now to get ready for the Great Reset. You want to be outside the system as much as you can. You've heard me talk about it. And based on my discussions, this is what I've come up with. Number one, you need to have cash and spend what you have in cash. And you also need to be stockpiling precious metals at the same time. Take some of the cash to buy precious metals. Help your clients out. Here's what I mean by that. The people that you shop from, they get hit on the credit cards when you pay, unless it's a debit. So what you need to be doing is paying cash so they don't get charged for it. By the way, I had a waitress tell me something today. We went out to lunch and she said, because we were talking about this, and she said, there's some restaurants that hire waiters and waitresses, and they take that service fee out of their checks. I don't see how that's even legal. But anyway, cash, precious metals, cash, precious metals. Stay away from the credit cards as much as you can. I know the big purchases, I get it. Okay. Shop local. How many times have you heard me say that? For those of you who followed me for a long time, how many times have you heard Dave Hodges say shop local? The reason being is when you pay the local bill, okay, it's like we ate out for lunch today at our favorite restaurant in Wickenburg, Arizona, called Anita's. Oh, I love it. And the owners, they're to die for. The waiters and waitresses, the help staff, they're just great. The food's the best Mexican food in Arizona. I've been saying that for years. And it's truly a treat when we get to go there. And we haven't seen our old friend Sherry, that is the co-owner with her husband, Tom. What a wonderful couple. What a great place to eat. But let me tell you what happens. We spent that money there today. It's really inexpensive for the portions you get. My gosh. Don't eat breakfast when you go there for lunch. Anyway, Sherry and Tom will take that money and they'll go get their hair done, get their hair cut. They'll also pay off their groceries at the local grocery store. They'll buy their groceries. Okay, there might be a car repair bill. You may have to get the oil changed, something like that. They'll put gas in, local merchant. You get the idea. They'll go to the local theater. And that money just keeps getting spent over and over. The research from the Chamber of Commerce says it's like 16 times over than when you go to a box store. Shop local, because the stronger your community is, the more resilient and resistant you will be to smart cities and the 15-minute city takeover. Because the cities are working. People are going to say, hell no, I'm not doing that. And they'll meet with a lot of resistance. And they don't want resistance, folks. There's more of us than there are of them. So shopping local is critical. Everyone I talk to on this topic says, Dave, you sell storable food. Yes. Prep. Storable food. Prep. Food, water, guns, gold, ammo, natural medicine, and tools. That's what you need to do right now. Stockpile canned food that you may not even plan on eating. Why? Because you may get to trade and barter it. That's part of prepping. Okay, so listen to me. We've talked about this before. If you're going to run out of your medications after a 30-day period, you need to make sure you know the natural alternatives. Get busy with that right now. In fact, a good site to go to is Daisy Luther at the Organic Prepper, theorganicprepper.com. Okay, so your savings. You need to save money. Save, 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 and then convert it to assets outside the bank. Say, Dave, what would that be? Gold, silver, palladium, platinum, Bitcoin. That's simple. Diversify. So when you invest your savings as you're saving, but you'll save it in a different format. We used to think, okay, we'll have our cash in the bank. Won't that be great? Compound interest, blah, 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 the rule of 7, and all that stuff we used to tell ourselves, that doesn't apply now. You need diversification with your savings. You'll still save, but you'll save so you don't put all your eggs in one basket. Okay. Next, you need to be out of debt. If you don't have the discipline, cut your credit cards up and only use your debit cards. Cut the credit. If you have the discipline, realize you might make a really big purchase, but you know you can cover it. You're not going into debt. Okay. And you can use it for that, but don't use your credit cards. Pay flipping cash. Save the vendor money. Be responsible with yourself. Make your community strong and resilient, but get out of debt, because if you're in debt in any way, when the Great Reset begins to unfold, they'll use that debt against you to take your property, to take everything you own. Remember, you'll own nothing and they'll be happy. And then finally, and this is something that I'm seeing more and more, there's a Christian revival going on across the country now. Have you noticed? So finally, you need to absolutely deepen your faith. You know, Chris Kitsy, who comes on our shows quite a bit, and Chris has a really varied background, incredible financial background, other things too. I met him when he owned Before It's News, and they recruited me to write for that site long before I started off on my own. And Chris and I become friends and stayed friends, but he is a great guest. And this guy is, he kills it on stuff with economics. But he told me a story, and I got something from my grandmother like this too. When his grandmother was on her deathbed, she was telling him her happiest time was during the Great Depression because we depended on each other. People were more important than things, and we helped each other to survive. And we were really, really close. And that was so meaningful. Yeah. Put faith and time into your relationships, but also put faith and time into God, because in the book of Matthew, the Lord promises us, if we honor him, he will never depart from us. And that's the great promise. Remember, he gave his son for us. And if we're going to go through, and by the way, the people bringing us the Great Reset, smart cities, what do you think they are? Do you think they're Christians? Some of you just spit out your soda. I apologize for that. No, they're demonic. They're evil. They're satanic. Look at the leadership in Maui. Look at leadership in Hawaii. Look at these people. What do you see? Do you see good, caring people that are concerned about the lives that were lost, the property that needs to be reinstated? No, they're on a mission. They're evil. You can see it in their eyes. You ever notice? I can say this now because other people are starting to talk about it. I noticed this years ago, but I was afraid to talk about it because I thought people would think I was absolutely crazy. Well, maybe I am, but I didn't want to advertise it. So have you ever noticed that when you encounter someone really evil, you can see the darkness in their eyes? And there's like a feeling of malevolence that overcomes you when you're in their proximity. It's like they're, for lack of a better term, their energy field. And I'm not into woo-woo, new age crap. I'm just saying you just kind of sense the evil and you see it in their eyes. The poster child for this is the ex-Prime Minister of New Zealand, Jacinda. Oh, look, she just creeped me out. I wouldn't want to be in the same room with her. It was hard enough to look at her on videos and pictures. And I'm not talking about attractiveness. That has nothing to do with what I'm talking about. I'm talking about her persona. And there's other people too, and you know what I'm talking about. Some people in the past have called these people energy vampires. Surround yourself with people from the faith, people that you love. Invest time in these relationships and friends and family. Okay, and what I'm saying to you right now is faith will carry us through. We can be ruled by one of two things: fear, and fear makes you make careless decisions. The second thing, we can be ruled by faith. We know what has to be done. We're up against really kind of scary stuff, but we have the faith that the Lord will see us through. So again, to review, okay, cash, precious metals, convert your bank stuff into precious metals, particularly retirement, shop local, make sure you're prepped, make sure you're saving, and then again, diversify with your savings. Stay out of debt so people can't use that as a conduit to steal your stuff from you. And then faith, trust, and abide in the Lord. Those are the hallmark pillars of success. And I would add this too. Part of the faith is faith, not fear. No fear, no fear, no fear. In the words of my friend Ernie Hancock. I hope you found this helpful. I hope you can reflect on it. I hope you can use this as kind of your own report card. How are you doing in these areas? None of us are perfect, but I think these are some ideals we can work towards to basically bulletproof ourselves as much as we possibly can in the face of the horrible things that are coming our way. These people are not nice people. They don't have nice things planned for us. We need to put this off as long as we can until the numbers grow to a point where we overwhelm them. That's it for the Common Sense Show. Thanks for joining us. Make sure
Welcome to the Prophecy Club. Our topic today is the date, September 23rd, 2023. I've got some interesting things to say about it. And before we get started, let me remind you that we're having our Bible study every Friday night, and we ask you to click subscribe, click the bell, and share this. Go to the Bible study Friday night, 6:30. You can watch on Prophecy Club, Facebook, YouTube, and we read the Bible. Also, we're asking everyone to actually join the Prophecy Club. $9.90 on an automatic monthly donation is what we're asking. And of course, you can give more if you'd like to. You can stop anytime you want to. And you click the QR code. Now, I was asked to show people what that meant. I had learned this too. And I'll tell you how I learned it. I was in a restaurant. They didn't have a menu. They had a barcode. I thought, okay, how am I supposed to order? Here's how you're supposed to order. Okay, so you take out your cell phone. This is mine. Then you push camera. This is mine. And then you put it up to the QR code, like you're taking a picture of it, but don't take a picture of it. Instead, when you put it up to the QR code, it'll have a little yellow box that pops up, and there's a little yellow sentence under that. Reach out and touch that sentence. Okay, got it? So you hold it up like you're taking a picture of that QR code. And then a box will appear, and then you touch that box. Boom. It takes you right to that website. And that's how you can join Prophecy Club. Or I've also been asked to tell you that you can go to prophecyclub.com. And there's a place there where you click and you can donate, and you can also join the Prophecy Club. Why? Because Jason Meeks, one of our prophets, was told that if Prophecy Club is going to survive in the hard times ahead, we need to ask everybody to join, actually on an automatic every month donation of $9.90 or more. And God bless you, a lot of people are signing up for more, and we appreciate that. We need it, so that in the hard times, Prophecy Club is still going to be there to be able to bring you the information that we need to bring you. Now, I'm going to cover briefly as a recap what I talked about yesterday, so I'm not setting any dates. God's not spoken to me. I'm just guessing here. So, to start with, Texas Power Grid entered emergency mode last night to avoid rolling blackouts. I didn't know that Texas had an emergency mode, and nobody told me that they've been in this emergency mode, but the article says, the state's power grid operator triggered its emergency operations on Wednesday evening, allowing it to call on all available power generation to stay ahead of demand, bringing it to a step closer to a worst-case scenario of ordering rotating power outages. Now, I think, about 3 winters ago, we had that here in Texas. My electricity went off 30 minutes, on 30 minutes, off 30 minutes, on 30 minutes. And there were a lot of people in my neighborhood that had a lot of frozen damage. Anyway, outages would last between 10 to 15 minutes for their customers. The duration of power outages and whether they would rotate would depend on whether they hear from ERCOT, which calculates how much demand must be reduced to keep the grid from failing. Now, I question whether the grid is really that close to failing, but then I'm also going to say you should have made preparation for it. We should not be reading this article. It should not be happening. Outages would likely be necessary for only a few hours, and demand typically falls and wind generation typically rises after a sunset. I don't know why would wind generation rise after sunset. Most cases I've been around, the wind goes down after sunset. Nevertheless, that's what the article says. The state has broken its power demand record 10 times so far this summer. I didn't know that either. Because of economic, now I believe this, population growth and punishing heat. You see, when the pandemic hit, a lot of folks in the blue areas didn't like how they were being treated, so most of them have moved to either Florida or Texas, apparently, because the freeways around here used to, occasionally have a stoppage, like on Friday at 5 o'clock. Very, very rarely. Rare was it that the flow even slowed down. Now it's almost like it's rare that the traffic flows normally around here. So yes, I would agree. There's been a whole lot more people moving to Texas, and specifically in the DFW area where I live. Okay, now, what does this mean? It means that I don't think it's a question of whether. I think it's a question of when will our grid go down. And for this, I recommend you go to griddown.com. And if you enter code the promo code prophecy, you get a 7% discount. And if you'll read into it, and I'm not going to cover all of it today, but here's a real good overview of why they are the best. Now, I told you I have a solar system, and I got my solar system from solarsurge.net, and I'm very, very, very pleased with it. I absolutely love it. So if you're thinking about getting a solar system, I'll send you to solarsurge.net. And if you're thinking about getting, what this is not solar, okay? This is basically just a giant battery. So the grid goes down, and it depends how many of these batteries you have, how long you're going, and also how much electricity you use, how long you're going to have electricity till it comes back on. Now, if the electricity were to cycle on and off every 10 or 15 minutes, this thing would totally cover you. It would, yeah, not a problem. Now, if the electricity were to go off for, say, it depends on how many of these you have, say 6-8 hours or something, then there might reach a point to where the batteries have expended all of their stored power. But again, this is probably the cheapest way to have some kind of a battery backup. This is a whole battery backup, not just for your computer, but for your refrigerators and everything in your house. And this tells you all about it, so pause and read that. SolarSurge.net. Oh, and by the way, you go to griddown.com to get more of this information. SolarSurge.net, not com, net, SolarSurge.net. All right, now let's go on. Truck drivers. Catastrophic forecast for food supply as Biden turns the industry on its head. President Joe Biden's administration finalized plans for a program it argues will further reduce air pollution from heavy-duty engines, but truckers argue that the proposed standards will crush the supply chain and put the American food supply at risk. Well, I have 14 prophecies. 14 prophecies say that America is going to go into a food shortage. This, I don't think, is the only thing that's going to cause it. I mean, we're talking about food, we're talking about fires, we're talking about the death of chickens and cows, and they're hitting us from every direction. The new emission standards put forth by the Environmental Protection Agency are significantly more stringent. That's all they have to do. They have to just raise the standards until no one can get on the road with those standards. That's all they have to do. Many small trucking companies will be pushed out of business, tightening trucking capacity nationwide and causing severe price inflation, worse than we have right now, which will be passed down to consumers. The EP estimates the technology required will cost between $25,000, $68,000, and $8,000 per vehicle. They say that they're supporting green energy above the economy and they're causing climate change by scaling away. So all of this is a plot. All of this is evil in high places with high technology coming against the people so that they can force every knee to bow and every tongue to confess and every person, every forehead or right hand to take that mark of the beast. That's where this is ultimately going. So for that, I recommend you go to josephkitchen.com.
James Kaufman, World News Report today. Today, September 8th, 2023, 3:30 p.m. Central here in the U.S. God bless you and yours, no matter where you are in the world. Please subscribe, give us a thumbs up, ring that bell for critical future updates. First analysis of a weird golden orb found on the ocean floor leaves scientists stumped. They have figured out that they think it's biological in origin. They also think that something may have left the hole that you see here. It was found on the bottom of the seafloor in Alaska. Vril! The golden dome-shaped object was discovered in the Gulf of Alaska during a NOAA expedition, and after bringing it to the surface, scientists still have no idea what it is. I don't think I'd have it in my hand then. A mysterious golden orb found at the bottom of the ocean during a research expedition is biological in origin, but scientists have no idea what it is. While we were able to collect the golden orb, but should you have, and bring it onto our ship, we still are not able to identify it beyond the fact that it is of biological origin. Sam Candino of the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration Ocean Exploration Expedition Coordinator said in a statement, "While somewhat humbling to be stumped by this finding, it serves as a reminder of how little we know about our own planet and how much is left to learn and appreciate about our oceans. Looks like an egg to me, and that something hatched and left. And it doesn't look at all the same once the scientists brought it on their ship. The strange dome-shaped object was found about 2 miles, 3,300 meters beneath the ocean surface on a seamount, which is an underwater mountain, really an underwater volcano in the Gulf of Alaska. It's about 4 inches or 10 centimeters wide. There appears to be a small hole near the base, and scientists initially thought it could be an egg casing or some sort of dead sponge attachment. But after bringing the golden object to the surface, researchers have been baffled. Researchers are now planning to carry out laboratory analysis on the object to find out what it is, if possible. I think they should have left it there. The team is now trying to work out if the orb is associated with a known species, a new species, or represents a previously unknown stage of life. We likely won't learn more until we're able to get it into a laboratory setting where we can continue to pull from the collective experience of the scientific community with more sophisticated tools than we're able to maintain on our ship, Candillo said. This reminds me of a movie where they go into space in their ship. The NOAA Seascape Alaska expedition that found the orb is a mission to learn more about the relatively unknown deep water off the shores of Alaska. The team plans to map the region and learn more about the creatures, known and unknown, that inhabit these waters. You may recall that this same ship discovered a few new species of an animal just about a month ago. To me, this thing yells quarantine. Not, I think I'll hold it in my glove. Now, I do want to point out in the picture they provided, it's like there's a similar one, whatever it is, right here. No one seems to ask about that or point that out, but I'd be real curious because it's the same color and looks maybe, maybe in a different stage or form than the one that has the hole in it. God bless you guys. Share, subscribe, and always remember, anything's possible. Real in bizarro world.
Wow, guys, a lot of strange things are going on. I got an email from a friend, I think in New Mexico this morning. They were sharing either my friend up in Connecticut. I know both of them. I got this material, and it's about this underground city, pyramids underground in New Orleans. New Orleans, guys. I will try to put that clipping. It's coming from Facebook, I think, information. But I will try to put it in the description box if you guys want to go look at that. It was interesting to me. This guy is finding all this material of pyramids underground over in New Orleans area. So we got a lot of strange things going on. A lot of strange things going on in Antarctica, as Betty S. talk about a lot in her books and material. Please don't forget to go to her website and look at her new material on there. Betty S. In Tennessee. www.vvmint.org and look up her website, and all her stuff is on her website. She's not going to be on social media, so I always have to announce that once in a while. So I'm going to go on over here now to missions, guys. Before I get into missions, I'm going to show this pictures here before I forget about it, from my brother over there in Kenya. He's going into a lot of the prisons right now. I think he's been in about 3 or 4 different prisons right now, I think. He's been getting invited from pastors and people to go into the prisons and take Bibles and take humanitarian needs. And so these are some of the clippings he showed me yesterday where he was in a prison. And I can't even remember the city now. I think it's his city close to home where he is. But this is one of the prisons he was with, and you can see the brothers preaching there. And a lot of the prisons are really prostrating themselves to Yeshua. They want salvation right here, I think, prostrating themselves. You know, it's so important that we pray for the prisoners all around the world, that they will find Messiah Yeshua. So I thank you for Godfrey. I really appreciate all the work you're doing in the prisons. May God continue to bless him and other missionaries. We have many missionaries over in all over Africa. We have them in Kenya. We have them in Uganda, Ghana, Nigeria, and also other places in India, Bangladesh, Pakistan, Philippines, okay. And I hope I'm not leaving out anybody, but I think I've covered them all. But we got a lot of prisoners in all these locations need the prisoners to get the word of God. Yeshua say when this gospel is published into all the world, then the end will come. So let's go on over here now to our mission report coming from actually India, I think today. Bangladesh, if I'm not sure, if I don't remember. But let me go and look anyway, and I hope you guys are having a wonderful Friday, and we're going to get on over here and find it, if I can find my mission picture. Here it is. So thank you so much for Bob, all the work he does to raise funds for Feed My Sheep Today, End Time Dream and Vision, Uptime, his program on Uptime, Bob Barbara. So he have a lot of prophetic videos as well. So we all connect together, and I thank you for each and one of you guys who subscribe to our channel and give to our channel to help homeless people and missions and people in need and mission fields. We just helped a brother over in Nigeria who was pretty much not having any food. You know, the expenses have gotten really horrible over in these African countries. Food have gone up really horrible, bad, worse than America. And, you know, gas is going up here. I know we went out yesterday, $4 a gallon. My husband tapped the car up like $30-some, you know, just to tap it up. So things are going up everywhere. And thank you for the prayers. We got back safe yesterday. And a lot of people on the highways yesterday, but we're glad we got back home safe. Thank you for the prayers. We're praying now for my grandson's wife to reach her trip from Michigan to Oregon today. So we're praying for that to be a success. So we really appreciate the prayers, guys. Much prayer, much power. So let me go ahead and mute out and get into this video here now.
खाली बाइबलला खाली नरासर करो नरासर करो ए मनी दादा ना करो बाइबल पाइছো আর মাছ না তোমার তো না যাইতে দেবে বাইবেল খালি নিলে হবে না বাইবেল কিন্তু পড়তে হবে এই যে ম্যাডাম রেখে দেই পড়তা এই বাইবেলগুলো কিন্তু একটা বাইবেল দাম 500 টাকা দাম দাম এই সামনে আসো দুজন মা এগুলো বলবো এই যাও সামনে বাইবেল খালি নিয়ে রাখতে দিবি না বাইবেল পড়বি
All right, guys, I really appreciate all the missionaries. They do such wonderful hard work, and prayer, much prayer is needed. A lot of things going on in Pakistan, like I said, Pakistan and over in India, persecutions are rising, and also in Afghanistan we have, I think, Brother Richardson. You heard of Richardson. He's over there doing work in Afghanistan area. A lot of different missionaries around. Tortured for Christ. What is that called? Yeah, torturedforchrist.com. You heard of that company. But it's a lot of mission fields out there. We should just be uplifting them and praying for all of them at this time, because we need to get the gospel out, people. The gospel need to go forth into all the world. So I'm going to go on over here now and get into Bible a real few minutes here. We're going to go on over here and get into the Bible. I'm giving my husband a break. He is really such a hard-working man. He did so much on the road yesterday, and I'm giving him a break. So I'm gonna go ahead and pray. Father, we thank you so much for your gospel. We thank you for your Psalms and all the wonderful messages in the Bible that encourages us to keep going forth, to keep going forward, to not give up, to not give in. So we really appreciate all your word, Father, your holy word, who you wrote through your prophets and prophetess and missions and all the wonderful people in the Bible, the Word of God. So we're going now to Psalms today, Psalms 127. We thank you so much that your Holy Spirit be with the people, be with me as I read it to the people. We ask it in the mighty name of Yeshua Messiah. So unless the Lord builds the house, I'm going to King James Version. Is that authorized? What that King James? Apocrypha. King James Version Apocrypha. Okay. So anyway, unless the Lord builds the house, okay, I thought it was interesting because it's true. Unless the Lord is in the midst of anything we're doing, whether it's our jobs or our home, whatever we're doing in ministry, we need to put him as head and not the tail. Head and not the tail. He need to be above all of it, people. All of it. So it says, unless the Lord builds the house, unless the Lord build the house, they labor in vain that build it. Except the Lord keep the city, the watchman waketh but in vain. But it is vain for you to rise up early, to sit up late, to eat the bread of sorrows, for so he giveth his beloved sleep. Lo, children are an inheritance of the Lord, and the fruit of the womb is his reward. As arrows are in the hand of a mighty man, so are children of the youth. Happy is the man that hath his quiver full of them. They shall not be ashamed, but they shall speak with the enemies in the gate. And sometimes you wonder, Father, about these children. We sometimes wonder about our children. You know, is it really a blessing or not? But anyway, you say they are a blessing. You said to train up a child in the way they should go. And when they're old, they won't depart from it. So I'm wondering how old my kids going to get before they not depart from what I taught them already in the past. But anyway, guys, we are really happy for our children. I pray that our children will get into the kingdom of God and be a part of the kingdom. It's like I'm preaching every day, trying to instruct even in the grown kids, you know. It's like, I don't know. So it's really time for us to sound the alarm with our families, our children, our homes, our cities, our counties, our countries. We need to be always sounding the alarm when we get the opportunity, sounding the alarm. So I'm going to go on over here now to Maranatha and end the video and get into closing. Wow, guys, so many things are going on. So we're going to get here now and read from the remnant and the sealing, the remnant and the sealing. And I'm telling you, all these things about to take place. God is really not happy with the situation in the world today. I can tell from the prophets and prophetess and all the messengers out there, if you go listen to their messages, that God is not pleased. He's trying to give us time to get ready. So it's time to be getting ready, get ready, get ready, get ready. So let me go ahead and mute out and play this wonderful message here. Okay.
July 24. The remnant and the sealing. The Lord said unto Satan, The Lord rebuke thee, O Satan, even the Lord that hath chosen Jerusalem rebuke thee. Is not this a brand plucked out of the fire? Zechariah 3:2. The remnant church will be brought into great trial and distress. Those who keep the commandments of God and the faith of Jesus will feel the ire of the dragon and his hosts. Satan numbers the world as his subjects. He has gained control of the apostate churches. But here is a little company that are resisting his supremacy. If he could blot them from the earth, his triumph would be complete. As he influenced the heathen nations to destroy Israel, so in the near future he will stir up the wicked powers of earth to destroy the people of God. All will be required to render obedience to human edicts in violation of the divine law. Those who will be true to God and to duty will be menaced, denounced, and proscribed. They will be betrayed both by parents and brethren and kinsfolks and friends. Their only hope is in the mercy of God. Their only defense will be prayer. As Joshua was pleading before the angels, so the remnant church, with brokenness of heart and earnest faith, will plead for pardon and deliverance through Jesus their advocate. Satan urges before God his accusations against them, declaring that they have by their sins forfeited the divine protection and claiming the right to destroy them as transgressors. But while the followers of Christ have sinned, they have not given themselves to the control of evil. They have put away their sins and have sought the Lord in humility and contrition, and the divine advocate pleads in their behalf. The people of God are sighing and crying for the abominations done in the land. With tears they warn the wicked of their danger in trampling upon the divine law, and with unutterable sorrow they humble themselves before the Lord on account of their own transgressions. The wicked mock their sorrow, ridicule their solemn appeals, and sneer at what they term their weakness. But the anguish and humiliation of God's people is unmistakable evidence that they are regaining the strength and nobility of character lost in consequence of sin. While Satan was urging his accusations, holy angels unseen were passing to and fro, placing upon them the seal of the living God.
The seal of the living God, the seal of the living God. Guys, I tell you, you want to have that sealing. You want to have that sealing from all these things coming forth, time of trouble, the great time of trouble, tribulation, all these things, we want to definitely have the seal. So many things going to be going on and is going on. So we need to be giving our life to Jesus Christ, Yeshua Messiah Haya. If you haven't done that today, I ask that you would invite him in. As he said, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him shall not perish but have everlasting life. We don't want the trumpet to sound without being in his arms, in his camp, in his kingdom, guys, okay? It's just so many things, beautiful things that God has made. And I know as we get dwell towards the Sabbath time coming, we should reflect on his creations. He's such a wonderful God. So whatever you do, please be aware of the homeless people in your area. A lot of them out in despair, have nothing, have lost everything. So it's time to go look for them in the parks or wherever you can find them, and try to give food, food card, water, a blanket, a hat, a cap, whatever, to kind of encourage them, and to also give them a Bible, either have a prayer with them, whatever you can, whatever the Holy Spirit direct you to do. We know all these things are coming back, all these pestilences and things are going to be appearing again. So we need to know all the hurricanes and storms and war, and all these things are approaching us right now. So we need to be getting ready, being prepared, because he is the one that care about you more than anybody else. He is the one that care about you right now, today. I remember when I was 16 and gave my life to Jesus Christ, when Billy Graham came on the TV screen. And ever since that happened, I've had nothing but terrible things coming at me. The devil trying to attack me every time I get a chance to do something good. Here he come. But you know, the Lord always was with me, because he said he would never leave us or forsake us. So we should never give up on him. He don't never give up on us. Giving your life to him, because time is really running out quickly. So I'm going to go ahead and end the video, and then I will come back and pray with you guys. I'm telling you, boy, time is really running out. Running out quickly. Boy, you don't know from one day to the next what's going to happen. So I ask that you look at some miracle testimonies in my book, He Did What. Never thought I would have it out at all. One of my dreams I had in my life, and my husband surprised me on my 71st birthday and got it done for me. So I really hope that all the proceeds can go and help the homeless, the widows, the orphans, and that's what we're using the proceeds for. So okay, so buy my ebook titled He Did What from Amazon.com, Apple, Google, Kobo.com, Lulu.com, Barnes & Noble. The link is in front of you. It should be listed for $2.99 USD in America. Download all our ebooks from fmcmi.org/downloads. If you want a print edition, write me at marner.campbell@gmail.com and say, Marner, I'd like to have a hard copy or a soft copy, whatever. But not if you're in foreign lands, guys. Okay, you have to go and look for an ebook on these companies if you can get it on the ebook, okay? But not in I can't send it out in foreign lands. But also go to the Son of Man Bible, download Gene's free eBible from Lulu.com, Kobo.com, Smashwords.com, Scribd.com, fmcmi.org. Read the Son of Man Bible PDF for free. Download the Son of Man Bible Computer Bible Modules for free. Download free at BibleSupport.com, WordModulars.com. Also, Son of Man, go here at King James Version Bible. Download Gene's free Son of the Virgin King James Version Bible Modular from BibleSupport.com, WordModulars.com, fmcmi.org/downloads. Other two modulars here, SOTVJK, SOTV KJV, and the other one have the Apocrypha, KJVA. Okay. So also, thank you for all your offerings to help the homeless, the orphans, the widows, those that need in mission fields. May Yahuwah richly bless each and every one of you guys. I am so amazed at all the offerings coming in. I really appreciate each and every one of you for your support, your prayers, your consideration. I really appreciate it very, very much, guys. Okay, we appreciate it very much. So FMCMI alternative channels, rumble.com, BitChute.com, Facebook.com, FMCMI.org/blog, and also you can go here to donate by Cash App. A cash tag is there. Other donation options, FMCMI.org, Marner.Campbell@gmail.com, at PayPal. Mail in your donations to Fill My Cup Ministries, Post Office Box 414, Canon City, Colorado 81215. Shipping address is Fill My Cup Ministries, 1501 Main Street, number 414, Canon City, Colorado 81212. Click subscribe, the like bell, subscribe to our YouTube channel, click the like button, click the notification bell. Our digital business cards and also our hashtags are on the screen. I'm going to go ahead and pray now. And I wanted to tell you guys too that if you really want to have the spiritual warfare prayer booklet that I use a lot for many years, you can write me and request it by PDF, okay? It's a whole book about, I think, 47 pages or more. And this brother wrote it back in Miami years ago. And it's really wonderful book for spiritual warfare prayers on any situation you may have. So if you want to have that book, you have to write me and request it. Anywhere in the world. I don't care if you're living anywhere. You just give me your email. I will send it to you by PDF, okay? Because we got to start using our spiritual warfare prayers. I do mine every day, every night. So it's time to really be aware of much prayer, much power, okay? It's time for us to get ready, be ready, stay ready. So, Father, be with us today on this video. We thank you so much for all you do for us. You're such a wonderful God, wonderful Savior. We ask that you would be with all the people watching today, supplying all their people needs, whether it's physical, mentally, spiritually. Oh, Father, we just bind Satan and all his evil angels, below, beyond, beneath, mentioned and unmentioned, known and unknown. I bind all evil spirits on assignment against each and every one of us. We ask for your Holy, Holy Spirit to come and fall on your people. Oh, Father, we bind up the spirit of backlash. We bind up the spirit of every hex and vex and voodoo and black magic and witchcraft and sorcery. We bind up all the Nephilim spirits, crossbreed spirits, half-breed spirits, strongman spirits. We bind them all up and we put them into the abyss, into the day of judgment. Father, let your fire fall on your people. We loose your fire on your people, your power on your people, helping your people to know that you are the one that can save them and help them, Father, in any situation. We must live supernaturally, my God. Oh, Father, help us to live supernaturally and to trust in you in all things, my God. Greater is he that is in us than he that is in the world. No weapon formed against us will prosper. Father, we just ask for your blessings over your people as we enter into the Sabbath weekend. We thank you for the Sabbath. We thank you for the Feast of Trumpets on the way. We just thank you for all you do for your people, Father, all over the world. And we ask these blessings in the mighty name of Yeshua, Messiah, Ahaya. What your wonderful God we serve, and we thank you so much for everything you do, Father, in our life. We ask these blessings. Amen. Shalom. So I'm just going to go now, people. This video is like an hour, 34 minutes. Please share it with other people. I love you guys. I thank you for being here today to be a part of the program, watch the program. Please, we love you guys. We pray for you guys pretty much 3 times a day, every day. So pray for us, and we really appreciate all your prayers. So you have a wonderful, wonderful Sabbath, and we'll be back whenever we can. So I'm going to say have a wonderful Shabbat Shalom, and I'll see you back on another video. Love you guys so much. Have a wonderful Shabbat Shalom.